A big wingman welcome once again to the wingman's path, to positivity, to raising your vibration, and to creating a life of your choosing. I thank you again for joining me on the path. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michael Gross. I'm your wingman on the wingman's path. For this edition of the wingman's path, I am your tour guide, and I'm coming to you from Chiang Mai, Thailand. I'm sitting right in front of a chetty, which in Thailand is considered a very spiritual place. There's many of these chetties around, and they're great for, well, I found them to be great for me to just sit around and do my wingman practices. So I thank you for being with me here, and let's see if we can raise our vibration, right? Let's see if we can actually bring some positive energy into our lives together, because one thing I found is the more of us that work together to do this, the easier it is for each of us to bring more positive energy into our life. So I thank you for being here with me. Yesterday, we talked about the 5 W's. Who, what, where, why, and when. And instead of talking about it in the past, we talked about it in the future, as to stating, the what was certainly stating clearly what it is you want to achieve, and then we went through each W. Today, we're going to talk about how, but how in a different way than we're used to doing. Before we set up our plan of attack, I like to do something a little bit different, and I believe it really helps to solidify the goal you want to achieve. And I call it see it, feel it, believe it. As a matter of fact, what I like to do, I talk about a 3-step process to achieving any goal or manifesting any desire you want. And those 3 steps are: 1, to get yourself in a better feeling place. I think when you can feel a little bit better, well, 1, you start coming up with better goals. And 2, I think your plans to achieve those goals are better. 2, you've got to state your goal clearly. You got to be very clear with yourself and with the universe. So when you're sending out a vibration of exactly what you want, the universe is hearing you very clearly, or actually I should say feeling you very clearly. And 3, you got to become a vibrational match with your desire. What does that mean? Exactly what I said before. You've got to see it, you've got to feel it, you've got to believe it. Now, I come from the business world, and many in the business world would say, just go to work. You have a goal, just go to work with what it is. But I find that to be a little premature if you really want to achieve your goal. And I have nothing against action. As a matter of fact, action's a wonderful, you need action if you're going to achieve any goal. But I'm a big believer in inspired action. And I believe when you can see it, feel it, believe it, when you believe that you can achieve your goal, when you see yourself achieving your goal, when you feel that you've already achieved your goal, then the action you do to achieve that goal is going to be inspired action. So the first step, before you take any action at all, I want you to get it into your head. I want you to get it into your body. I want you to get it into your mind. I want you to get it into your heart. I want you to feel it. I want you to believe that you're going to achieve your goal. Does that make sense? So yesterday, as I said, we did who, what, where, when, and why, and the what was to state clearly your goal. So if you remember what your goal was yesterday, if not, go back and watch that video from yesterday. If you have and you know the goal you want to achieve right now, I want you to take 1 minute, and I want you to just say to yourself, see it, feel it, believe it. And as you say that to yourself, I want you to practice the feeling of seeing it, feeling it, and believing it. Now, if this sounds unusual to you, well, then you haven't been in the business world or the sports world or any world where there's goals to be achieved. I can't tell you how often a football player or a baseball player or a tennis player or a basketball player or any sports athlete will visualize himself scoring the winning touchdown, making the winning basket, getting a winning hit. No different than a musician seeing himself hitting the notes and playing what he wants to play, and really creating magic with his instrument. In business, I can't tell you how often, if you wanted to have a successful meeting, well, I assure you, before that meeting, now I'm not saying you don't plan for the meeting and make sure you're prepared for the meeting, but before that meeting, you better have a pregame where you're visualizing exactly how that meeting's going to go, right? So that's what I want you to do with your goal that you want to achieve, or your desire that you want to manifest. I want you to breathe it in. Do it with me right now. Let's take 1 minute and just breathe in the desire that you want to manifest, the goal you want to achieve. I want you to breathe it in. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. I want you to believe it to be true. So much so that you can picture yourself already having achieved your goal. Yesterday I stated my goal was to have 100,000 members of the Wingman's Path. So that's easy. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to say, can I see it? I can see 100,000 members strong, right? All sharing positive energy, all helping each other, creating a team of wingmen that helps each other. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can feel it. Sometimes believing it's a little more difficult, but that's why we practice, right? Maybe you can't believe it right now. Maybe you can't even see it or feel it, but that is as strong a part of the practice as any activity you're going to take to achieving your goal. Practice for 1 minute every day, seeing you achieving your goal, feeling that you've achieved your goal, believing that you've achieved your goal. And it will lead you to taking inspired action. The action that is necessary, that is quickest and the best action you can take. That's what I want to see. I want to see inspired action as you go about manifesting your desire. I thank you so much for joining me today, for helping raise my vibration, helping all of us on the path share positive energy. I appreciate you sharing your positive energy, because when we can spark each other, just bring a little spark of positive energy to each other, well, it brings us all a little bit more momentum in the right direction. And that's the direction I want to be going in. So I thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day, one in which you can see, you can feel, and you can believe that you will achieve your goal, that you've already achieved your goal. Your goal is coming your way, baby. It's no problem. You've got this. And when you can see it, feel it, and believe it, I know it to be true. Have a great day, one in which you see it, feel it, and believe it. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Your Wingman Michael, signing off.